Today, a Nikon man photographs a wedding on a Fuji X-T4.
Taylor Jackson.
Shooting 67 weddings last year.
Taylor Jackson, welcome.
So Taylor, you are well known in this community. You're an amazing photographer.
Welcome to today's video. I am Taylor Jackson. I am a wedding photographer from just outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I photograph anywhere between 60 to 70 weddings every year on a normal year. This year, obviously a little bit different. I am primarily a Nikon shooter, but today I will be photographing a wedding with my wife, Lindsay, and also
the Fuji X-T4.
I can find my way through the trees.
I'm kidding. We're not in Iceland. We're at home.
I've seen the stars that Colorado night, and I've seen the heart that New York skyline, and I feel the warmth that Arizona sun, and I feel the cold of baseball in Boston.
Omar. Omar. Omar in a Nikon Z series shirt.
Hey Taylor, I heard you're shooting Fujifilm. Nice choice. And that you're trying the 23mm 1.4. In my opinion, this lens is pure magic in medium to close distance. It's got a great minimum focus distance, so you get beautiful bokeh if you get close to your subject. Also that medium distance, maybe 3/4 or headshot, beautiful. If you move further back, it loses a little bit of its magic. However, still wonderful. It's a great lens. Watch out for the chromatic aberrations, and enjoy Fujifilm. What is this here? What is that?
Elia Lacari. He didn't get back to me. It's cool.
Check. Red 10. Hey. Gotta get these demons I've been dreaming of. Please get off of me. Yeah. Trying to find a meaning I've been drinking constantly. Don't bother me. Been living in the fast lane. Oh, just trying to bypass pain.
Hey, Elia got back to me. Also, if you haven't checked out his series with Fuji called Moments in Time, do that after watching this video. Welcome to the video. Today's video is sponsored by George. I've now switched to the Zeiss 32F 1.8, and I can say after reviewing all the images that I prefer shooting on the 23 1.4 Fuji. And I can honestly say that all of the native Fuji lenses that they make for their cameras really are fantastic, all in their own regard. As you can see, the face and eye detect working quite well. I like that it signals that there are two faces and also shows you kind of what eye at the same time. I feel like a lot of stuff is going on there. There's no faces in this photo, but it looks nice. These are all processed with my presets, by the way. If you're a member, you have access to all those presets. There's a link in the description below. These are all Lindsay's setups, by the way. I think it's important as a second photographer, especially when you're working as a male-female team, when the female is the lead photographer, to not take too much control. With the couple, it's fine. They know who they hired. But in general, with the family and with the wedding party, unfortunately, they will all look to usually the dude as the main photographer. So if you're controlling things, you're gonna become the person, and it's gonna become a very strange dynamic with the lead shooter. And that is today's unfortunate reality of weddings and people. Brief interruption here. As I'm sure you're aware, the wedding industry has definitely been changing this year a lot, and I would say that this wedding that we're at is actually one of the larger weddings that I've been at all year, and including all into my September, October, at least from what I can see so far. So the entire industry has really moved to these what used to be a more elopement style wedding, but now it's just kind of normal. So I'm kind of hesitant to even call it an elopement because it's just kind of what it is now for at least the next couple of months. I have released a new course specifically on elopements, and it is primarily actually what I did last week, which was I generated 57 local leads for elopements within 1 week, so it was 7 days total. I'm going to run you through really everything. I'm going to give you my pricing documents for elopements. I'm going to give you my email script so you're able to communicate with people, or at least modify the email scripts to communicate like you would, as well as the entire strategy. It's really kind of a turnkey operation that you just get to come in, and if you want to make that Facebook ad that I made, you can make that. If you want to do that Instagram ad, you got the templates to build out all of this content to attract a significant number of leads in your local area, to give kind of scope to where we live. We live in a city of about 500,000 people, and the fact that I was able to attract 57 leads only through this advertising strategy, I think it's really quite incredible. So if you're interested in that, that's out now. It came out on Tuesday, so you can head over to the link in the description below, and it will take you over there. And as always, 100% money back guarantee. Also, if you sign up, don't sign up and buy the course. Just sign up just do 1 year maybe, or you can even sign up for the month and you get access to everything. But I would say do the 1 year, because basically 1 year brings the entire cost down to under $10 per month. And also you get instant access to all of my courses, including all the presets that you're seeing in this video, as well as an incredible number of other things. The list is on the screen right now, but you can check that out if you're interested. But it definitely is the best deal in wedding photography education. Back to the Fuji X-T4 wedding. Oh yeah, it is hot, it is sunny, and the face detect is struggling a bit, but everything still is in focus. I've kind of resorted to just knowing that whatever's in that box is going to be the thing in focus. So I'm just looking for contrast points, and it's doing a good job. Everything, it held it together, even though it looks a little chaotic here. The Fuji X-T4 also doesn't understand sunglasses, so if you're wearing sunglasses or somebody's wearing sunglasses, you're going to have to switch to just a regular focus system rather. And that said, I feel like I really don't rely too heavily on face and eye detect for weddings, that I really am most of the time, even a smaller autofocus box than this, and I just kind of focus it on whatever I'm trying to take photos of. You might notice some of my compositions are a little bit weird, and usually that's because I'm moving with the focus box. So as the focus box is somewhere, I'm trying to kind of focus recompose the best that I can within that current situation. So if you notice me cutting off some legs from time to time, that's probably the reason why. And you'll notice that I shoot everything at 2.0 or even less, 1.4 a lot of the time. And I noticed that at even 1.6 or 1.8, there's a little bit too much depth in the background. So I feel like I should have been maybe on something like the 56 f1.2, which is also a fantastic lens, but I think it's important to be the opposite of whatever your lead shooter is. So Lindsay is on the 70 to 200 right now, so it makes sense for me to be a little bit wider. So if I was at the 56, that'd be an 85 equivalent range, and I feel like all of our shots would be the same from different directions. So thought I'd switch it up and get some wides. It's identifying that chair as an upside down face. That's great. So as I spoke to in the interruption today, this wedding was the couple session, a couple photos with family afterwards, and then the ceremony, and it's kind of 3 hours all in. And that's something that I've been seeing a lot this year. And the downside of that is that we didn't get to shoot in golden hour, that we had to make do with what we could at kind of 5 o'clock. So maybe 4 hours before golden hour even began. And we had to shoot everything kind of in the bright sun. And that's just you got to do the best you can with any given situation. That's kind of the life, I guess, of a wedding photographer. And the Fuji X-T4 does a really, really incredible job. The Fuji X-T3 would also have done an incredible job in all the situations that you've seen today as well. So yeah, that is it. They walk down the aisle, they kiss, and then I drive home. Miss their feet again, man. So there it is. Nikon man shoots Fuji X-T4 at wedding and is very happy with the results. I've been very happy with this camera overall. If you're a follower of the channel, you might have heard me talking a little bit about the preamp. That's the only thing that I don't love, but if you're a photographer, actually, if you're a photographer, the Fuji X-T4 might even be overkill if you don't need the in-body stabilization from it. That's the main reason I went for it. The in-body stabilization, not all in-body stabilizations are created equal. If you're shooting, say, a Sony a7 III and it's like, oh, it has IBIS, cool, awesome. The IBIS in the X-T4 is a heck of a lot better than that. So know that they're not all created equal, and just because a camera has it doesn't mean that's amazing. The Fuji X-T4, I'm not sure if it's because of the smaller APS-C sensor that it's able to just kind of move around a little bit more and be more effective, but it's really, really fantastic. That said, if you're just a photographer and you don't need that, the X-T3 is also a fantastic camera. I brought that to Italy, I guess, a couple of years ago now, and I was so happy with it. I love just having a tiny little small kit. Even with the kit lens, I feel like it's kind of the perfect travel camera. It's very, very small, great quality, does all of the things that you could ever desire from it. And both the Fuji X-T3 and the X-T4 are great buys. Fuji X-T3, I would say, if you're a photographer, save some money, spend that money on lenses, or more importantly, maybe spend that money on experiences worth photographing. And the X-T4, if you're interested in doing video. I feel like we all kind of fall into the trap. I actually released a video about kind of our addiction to gear earlier this week on Monday. And I think one of the important things to know is that, like, even myself included, I'm always purchasing gear for like the next level. I'm like, oh, like maybe I will need to do 8K coverage or 6K or 12K at some event somewhere. I should get that top of the line camera. And in reality, if that outlier event happens and I do get hired for something that I need to shoot for a cinema screen for some reason, I can rent that camera in that case and save some money up front. What I don't really need is a collection of gear that is way over-spec'd whatever I normally do, and spending that money. I would rather spend that money again on experiences worth photographing and save that money actually from buying gear. So hopefully you're on the same page with that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. There's going to be a lot of wedding photography content coming up. This channel, I would say over 2020 is going to be all wedding photography related things. So if you're interested in that, you should subscribe over here. That's all I have to say today. Thanks for joining me here in the studio. It's a great day. I should play some music. I need a burrito.
Walk.
I need a burrito.
Walk.